Now today we're continuing the work on the Honda S2000. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit behind simply because during a recent snowstorm, the exhaust on my wife's Subaru decided to rot and detach itself from the vehicle, so I had to put some attention and repair that vehicle. So that's all said and done, and now we're back to the Honda. So today is differential, transmission, and half of an oil change. I'll explain why only half. And I've already recorded the couple of bearings, Drivebelt, Airbox, air filter, cabin filter, adjusting the valves, all of that is done. And then I'm thinking maybe one more episode regarding rebuilding the injectors, buttoning everything up. The valve cover is currently at a shop being powder coated because it's just too cold out there to do anything. And then we'll turn over this car for the first time. Hopefully it will start. Now regarding the differential and the transmission fluid, you want to make sure the car is completely leveled. Now I know it is in this case because we recently built these wooden stands and they're precisely 9 inches off the ground on all 4 corners. You want to make sure everything is nice and level. Now getting access to the rear differential is easy enough. That's a 24 millimeter for the drain. The fill is a 23, but you need a wrench because a socket just won't fit at this location. Interestingly enough, hard to find a 23 at a local hardware. I've checked Home Depot, Lowe's, auto parts stores. I just got it off Amazon. I'll have links below. And I'm going to use a breaker bar to break that fastener loose. It's very, very easy using a breaker bar. Best way to break these loose instead of killing your hands, 3-pound hammer. Okay, make sure it's on there. Okay, nice and loose. 24 millimeter. Make sure you use a breaker bar. It makes it super, super easy to do this, especially when you're lying on your back. There we go. Let's remove this. I expect this to be pretty dirty so far, what I've seen on this car. Oh, not too bad, I suppose. Now I'm going to remove the fill, and that will make it faster to drain. There we go. Okay, so what you want to do is just quickly clean off both the drain and the fill plug. If you ever get confused between the two, in this case it's easy because they're different sizes, but some cars they're the same exact size. The drain, of course, has a magnet. So the drain is the magnet, the fill, there's no magnet. Now, because there's no working room to insert the new fluid, I purchased this off Amazon. Again, I'll have links in the description box below. And this makes it super, super simple. You just attach this to the bottle and then you can pump the fluid back into the differential. Okay, so we reinstalled the drain. And then if you want to torque it, in this case it's 33 foot-pounds. And this will take around 3/4 of 1 quart. And then once the fluid starts to leak out, just place your finger in there, make sure you can feel the fluid, and you're all done. Okay, and now over to the transmission, and I'm going to go a little bit quicker, 17 mil, and that's a 3/8 drive. You can use a 3/8 drive ratchet and just yank it loose. There we go. Now it looks like the transmission and the diff fluid, not too bad at all. Looks very, very clean. The thing is, I don't know the history on this vehicle. The cabin and the air filter were nasty, so it's just a good idea to do the maintenance. So as the transmission fluid drains, I'm cleaning everything out with Super Clean. This is really good stuff. I did a video on this recently. Very, very good concentrated cleaner. So the bottom of the pump cleaned out, the tube being cleaned out. This is already done, but I'm going to use the other adapter in the kit for the transmission fluid. I'm torquing this to 29 foot-pounds. And now I'm going to pump in roughly 1.5 quarts into the transmission. All right. So now I'm going to splice in the rest of the video that I've already filmed. I just want to say a quick thank you. If you have any questions, comments, please leave it below, and let's keep going. Okay, so let's start with the engine oil, 17 millimeter wrench. Now this needs to be timed to 3/4 to 1 full turn. Now if you don't have the strength or you don't have the right adapter, this is a terrific little tool to have. This is just a strap wrench. I'll include the link in the video description box below. The way that this works, just place it on the filter, pull up on the tab, and then it's so easy just to turn the filter. Really nice and cheap, inexpensive tool to have. Now is a good time to replace the spark plug, so let's go ahead and do that. Now the spark plugs look pretty good among all 4 cylinders. Nonetheless, I am going to replace them with NGKs. These are the factory recommended plugs, and I'll place some anti-seize on the threads. Also, these are pre-gapped. So now we're going to reinstall the airbox. Starting to look like a car again. So now I have a rubber intake tube that runs from the throttle body directly to the air filter. Now I'm just noticing there's a metal ring that lives on this filter, on this intake that I don't have, so I'll need to order that. But there's a little placement where this goes, and then I have a marking right here, and that goes on this grommet. That's right down there. Okay, then we have the cover. So now it's starting to look like a complete engine bay. Of course, we still need the valve cover, the injectors I'll do in the next episode, but we're getting there slowly but surely.